And listen, if you don't like that ramp, I'll build you another one. Maybe it's the wood.
Hey, kids, come here. Come here, they're trying to fly. Come here, the babies, they're trying to fly. Look, they're trying to fly.
So I hope everyone is strapped in and ready for the least surprising statement of current year, because I think Sirfetch'd is just the best thing I ever saw. I am making this video out of obligation to Sirfetch'd because every other goofball that was on my Galar Champion team has been in a Gen 8 video so far, and Sirfetch'd is the last samurai, if you will. I think Sirfetch'd's niche... I think Sirfetch'd's I think that the niche that Sirfetch'd has...
Great job!
...is that it has the biggest thing. I'm pretty sure there's not a Pokemon that has a bigger thing than this. Also, it's very funny that Scrappy blocks specifically Intimidate. I think I'm the only person in the world that knows about this. This just in. Brave Bird is a 2-hit KO on defensive Lando after rocks. When you're building with Sirfetch'd, since it's slow but kills everything in one hit, it benefits even more than usual for momentum moves, like Lando T U-turn and especially Slow Boy Future Port. The things that can actually switch into Sirfetch'd are already very limited between Close Combat, Brave Bird, Knockoff, and Poison Jab, so if you add Future Sight, like, what are they gonna do? Just make sure you bring something that can lure or set up on Zapdos, and the absolute most important thing is to make sure you have a lot of dried corn.
Ready? Go!
I might as well just lead with my Future Sight button. Slowbro kind of only loses to Zeraora because it is Colbur Berry Body Press, so if I lured the Weavile with it turn 1, that would have been too funny. Scrappy just letting you hedge with Close Combat is pretty based, especially because most Landos are specially defensive now. I do kind of wish it was just Defiant instead, but since nobody knows snakes from dildos about Sirfetch'd, it is pretty nice when they just switch in a Dragapult and get absolutely fucking whooped. I should have brought out Aegislash here instead of Dragapult, but I was scared that Aegislash wouldn't KO Slowking either, and I super don't want it to take any chip because it's choice specs. I have to sack my ape. All my apes gone, because the answers to Weavile are Sirfetch'd and Colbur Body Press Slowbro, neither of which can actually switch into a knockoff. And Rillaboom was probably my least useful Pokemon because it's not doing much between Heatran and Buzzwole anyway. That Brave Bird was trying to call out the Buzzwole, but it's also a reasonable hedge because, like, there's absolutely no fucking way they're gonna switch Zeraora or Heatran in on me. If I was the smartest man in the world, I would have just switched to Slowbro here. I don't know if I forgot that Dragapult can switch out of Magnastorm, or if my baser instincts took over and just wouldn't let me click something other than Shadow Ball. And yeah, this is definitely modest Dragapult. I thought I could get away with it, sorry. Sorry everybody. Switching in Slowbro here absolutely reeks of desperation. There was no way this was gonna work. I was just really hoping that they wouldn't put 2 and 2 together. If I hadn't revealed Brave Bird earlier, then I would have brought Sirfetch'd out there and clicked it then, but, like, there's too many situations now where that goes bad for me. If only I had 4 more Specs Ghost types on this team, maybe this battle would be over already. I hope that Spectrier is in Scarlet and Violet, so I can do that for, like, a week and not have to use the cheap imitations anymore. Their Heatran being dead now means that Brave Bird is officially a hedge again.
I hurt myself today.
It's actually kinda nuts that Colbur Slowbro can just switch into Weavile. If it's not choice banded, I guess, but still, I actually didn't know that. Every day I think I like Slowbro about 2% more. So I U-turn here, and it's not because I thought they were going to switch into Slowking, it's because my Landorus just doesn't have Earthquake. It's U-turn, Rocks, Defog, Imprison. Yeah, I'm a gamer. I'm pretty sure Slowbro would have died to 2 knockoffs here, so I was just intending to sack it, because Slowbro loses to Zeraora and Weavile, and Lando only loses to Weavile, but it actually worked out better than I could have possibly anticipated. Since the Zeraora is dead, now I can safely sack the Lando, but uh-oh, it's a little dancing man. Well, GG, I guess. First Impression is so sick. I love First Impression because it's like the RU move. No OU player has worried about First Impression even once in their life. It has +2 priority, by the way, so it goes before Ice Shard. I could have clicked it a couple turns ago against Slowking as a hedge against Weavile and Zeraora, but I didn't want to lose the surprise, because the surprise goes a long way when you're using a Pokemon that's slightly too good for Inu. Sirfetch'd got 5 kills and used every move that game, by the way.
That is so fetch.
So before this generation is over, and they probably take Sirfetch'd away from me for a while, I would just like to point out how it's very funny that they had to put, like, the anchor point for Sirfetch'd's model in a really weird place because it's so top-heavy, so it just looks like fucking crap in Team Preview. This turn 1 Swords Dance, I think, will not be appreciated in its time, but will be vindicated by history. I actually have no idea what I was trying to do there. I think my right brain was like, well, they're gonna switch out, do something cool. And my left brain was like, but they have Ferrothorn and Zapdos, so don't click any move. The item on Rillaboom is Terrain Extender, by the way. This was my first time using Swampert with grassy terrain, and it's actually pretty pog. I kinda regret not using Swampert this generation more than I did. Can't wait until they give fucking Ferrothorn a momentum move too. I don't think I clicked U-turn a single time this game despite having it on like half my Pokemon. Like, this is a terrible V-Create, and I should have U-turned, but Static has just permanently altered my brain chemistry. Like, I'm just afraid of touching yellow stuff now. If you try to give me a banana, I'll cry. So I do just try to use knockoff here, despite knowing that this is offensive Zapdos, because my unboosted no choice band Grassy Glide did like 33% to it earlier. And hey, guess what? It's faster than me, and I fucking died. I should have switched into Tornadus on the Hurricane and then switched into Swampert on the Thunder, but I am kind of fine with Rillaboom just getting cucked and destroyed 2 games in a row. Kiss my ass, I hope I never have to see you again. Here I do just get away with clicking the super effective move, and I did it because Bolt Strike doesn't make contact. I think. I'm not actually going to look it up. I think my life is marginally better if I think that Bolt Strike does not make contact. It's just slightly less controlled by fear.
Try to fly!
First Impression probably would have killed there too, but Grassy Glide is definitely way funnier. It's Swords Dance Leak, by the way, even though I don't click Swords Dance this game. And I don't think I used it in any of like the 4 or 5 games that I tried to use non-banded Sirfetch'd. I'm also pretty sure that was the only time I killed something with Grassy Glide. And might be the only confirmed Grassy Glide Sirfetch'd kill in OU. I think that's like not entirely unreasonable. Future generations will call it the Reverend. If this was special Seismitoad, I would have lost gear, by the way. I mean, all Seismitoads are special, but if this was Weather Ball, I would be weathered, y'all. I could have sacked Victini just to make sure that I got Kartana in safely, but at this point I still thought that I needed Victini to kill the Zapdos. I should have just known that Sirfetch'd serves the sauce.
Boy, shut your trap, you dumbat.
So this team is 4 choice band Pokemon and 2 things with Tailwind. Team building is my passion. Tailwind is like the best move in the game that still completely sucks ass. One day I'll crack the formula though. I think Sirfetch'd might not be the secret ingredient, but I guess we'll see. This should maybe be Colbur Berry Mew, but I don't know if it would have helped me survive that anyway. It would if I also actually had HP EVs instead of attack EVs, I guess, but what if I told you Explosion? No one actually clicks Earthquake with Lando, and it's not like they even want to switch the Tapu Fini in, really, so I'm just gonna click my button a few more times. Likewise, no one in the world is going to click an actual move with Volcarona here. If someone's in this deep, all they're gonna do is try to dig up. I can't believe they Giga Drained here. I was fully intending to just sack Weavile. If I had switched Kartana into that, there is no question in my mind that they would have just forfeited. It's too funny, every time. I like that the only reason Sirfetch'd gets to learn First Impression is because if you looked at it for the first time, you probably would think, wow, that's a pretty fucking big thing. A 4 attack set with Brave Bird, Close Combat, Knockoff, and Poison Jab is probably quote-unquote better than using First Impression, but First Impression is like the most concrete thing I could point to that I couldn't just be doing with like Urshifu or MILF Pounder or something. I probably should have brought out Sirfetch'd on the blind switch after we both died in the same turn, but I really fucking wanted to get my Tailwind. And it was 100% not worth it at all. This is so deeply unsatisfying, because I had to spend one turn taunting the Magnezone so it wouldn't Iron Defense body press me, and then I don't even OHKO it with Kartana. That's actually crazy that Banded Kartana doesn't even OHKO. It's even crazier that they didn't think that I was banded because they were afraid to send out their Kartana to revenge kill me. They do figure it out though, and now it's their turn to click Sacred Sword, but luckily for me, my last Pokemon is a fellow student of the Blade. Obviously, they should have also used Banded Kartana and then just won the speed tie. It's so simple. Anyway, that's Gen 8.